back. Thanks for tuning in again. Today we're going to be fixing one of the mods that I did when I first purchased the car. I didn't do it right off the bat, but it is one of the very first things I ended up doing, and that is the Plasti Dip. We ended up plasti dipping the emblems. Yes, you can rip them off. You can order the actual blacked out emblem itself, but for this car, to ship it up here, all said and done, is like between $200 and $250, depending where you buy it from, where Plasti Dip is $15 at Walmart. So no brainer there. And for me personally, I didn't know if I really wanted them black or not. Wasn't sure how it'd look. Still, I don't mind the chrome look. So with the Plasti Dip, you can easily just peel it off, redo it if you want to redo it, like we are going to be doing today, and all that fun stuff. You don't have to worry about being stuck with something you might not like. But I'll flip you around, show you why we're going to be replacing it and how I'm going to go about it. And if you're interested, you can do it in your own car. All right, so here's the car. And the part we're going to be doing, I'm only going to be replacing the GT on the back. And from back here, you can't really tell. I did wash the car, just a quick wash this morning, so she's nice and clean. But if you come up here, I don't know if it'll show, but just on the very tips, you can see it's starting to wear thin. You can see the chrome through there again. So it's only on the back, I think because it's such a sharp point. Maybe I didn't get quite enough on there when I did it originally. So we'll try peeling that off and get it done. If you come up to the front here, because I did do all the emblems, you can see the 5.0 is still looking good. It does have points as well, but maybe it just covered a little better on there. I also ended up cutting out around the red dot here, so it's still the red in the 5.0. And then if you come to the front, we did the pony as well, which is also holding up very well. I know the lighting kind of sucks here, but if you're going to do this part yourself, what I did is just tape all around this little border. You can see the border where the pony sits into the grill. Tape all around there, spray the rest, and let her dry. And you can see this is just over 2 years, I'd say. It's got to be at least 2 years old and looks as good of shape as when I first sprayed her down. Okay, so me personally, this was the first time I've ever actually Plasti Dipped something, so time to see if this will actually peel off, because everybody knows the Plasti Dip should kind of end up like a sticker somewhat. So you can see with my nail, it peels off pretty easily. If you're wondering, I'll do the same with these coats as well. I put about I believe 7 or 8 coats on this stuff, and that makes it thick enough that you can see you can peel her off without, having to struggle. You can see even just wiping it with my thumb, it starts to come off little chunks, but it's not like you're struggling with it. You just peel it off nice and slow. So I won't bore you guys with all this. I'll get the rest peeled off, and then I'll show you how we taper up and spray down the new coats. All right, and just before I finish the whole thing so I can show you guys, you can't really get your fingers in here. You can see I already got it started. What I did is just grab a toothpick. You can see I'll do it in the middle of the G here and just run it along. And you can see it at least gets it started, and then you can get your finger in there, just start rolling, and it'll come up. You can peel that off, and then with your toothpick, just kind of push and slide. You're not going to scratch anything. It's wood, but it is you're not, reefing on it to get it in there, but just use your toothpick, go back and forth, and you can see peels off the back, and you can also get in the corners along with the little indent there between the G and the T. Just get her in between, can clean it all out nice, so then you're ready to go for the new layer. All right, so about 10-15 minutes later, it's all done. Everything around here peeled off good, along with in here. The only trouble I had getting off was right up top. I think it's because it ended up maybe a little thinner, so you don't have as much material to grab on and pull. But what I ended up using, and I was going to show this later in the video anyway, in case you overspray, is I did a review on this stuff before, Turtle Wax Bug and Tar. Just soak it down, wait like 5 minutes, that's all I waited for this stuff, and it wipes it right off. You can see on the rag I used, it actually just melts it. It almost makes it back to like how you spray it out of the bottle. I think the other side might have a little bit as well. You can see it literally just melts it away like nothing. So when you happen to be spraying the car, if say you don't have it taped off quite right, you get it on something you don't want it to, black, you won't see it as much, but you do feel it. I did that on the last time that I sprayed it down. You could feel where I missed. But just, yeah, spray this stuff on there, 5-10 minutes, just a little microfiber rag like that, and she wipes off clean. For putting the new layer on, obviously you want it as clean as possible, get all your fingerprints, everything off of there. The cleaner the better. So I also have this from Chemical Guys. I used it when I did the ceramic coating on the car. It's just wipe out. It's supposed to get all the gunk and grime and everything off. So I'll hit her with this and then we'll get to taping and spraying. All right, so here you go. She's all prepped, all cleaned. As you can see, I took just a giant garbage bag, cut it right in half, double it over, so it's twice as wide. And then tape up top just to hold it on the spoiler. Don't worry about making a perfect hole around here. Your goal is to spray excess around where you want it anyway. It'll peel off nice. You'll see that at the end of the video once we're done. Then just tape it in a couple spots because it is an aerosol can. It's going to blow around whether you want it to or not. So tape her down, try to hold it all in place. One thing you want to make sure, tape up your camera. There's a rear camera there. And if you happen to cut your hole too big, like me, I didn't really care, then just fill it in with tape. The tape, I went on the 18 plus models anyway, you have that little indent here. I just went right up to the edge. It's actually right here. You can feel it. Same on that side. It is a little bit further over, but that's where I gauge that off of. And then leave about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches on top and bottom. This is actually the same can I used in the first place. It's just black. Don't spray it, first of all, right onto the car, especially if it's a used can. I sprayed just a little bit on the leftover garbage bag on the ground there. So we'll give her a shake and put the first coat on. Okay, she's all shook up. Very light coats. We're gonna do 7 or 8 coats, so we'll do 3 or 4 light coats, 3 or 4 heavier coats. But for the beginning, for sure, you just want to barely even see anything on there. So about 6 inches away, roughly. Just go across. You can see right now, it barely even looks black. You can just barely see it on the paint. That's what you're looking for, because this will give you your base coat, make it a little stickier. Everything will stick better on the coats afterwards. And also, you want to get it a little bit from the top. That's where I went wrong the last time. Like I said, it was a little thinner, along with underneath. And then we wait 5, maybe 10 minutes in between, depending how warm you are. As you can see right now, I got the garage door closed because not only is it middle of summer right now, so we're really warm, but we've been warm for a lot of days. I think it's like over a month since we've had rain now, which is weird for where we live. And the dust outside is just nuts. You park your car out there for 10 minutes, it's got a layer of dust on there. And you definitely do not want anything getting in that, because it will stand out like a sore thumb at the end of the day. And the only way you can fix it is to peel it off like we did and redo it over. So okay, that's about 5 minutes later. Like I said, it is warm here, so we'll go for the 5. Back of the can actually says up to 30 minutes in between coats. You don't want to wait that long for this because it'll be completely dried off, especially if it's like today and it's warm, and it's just not going to stick as well from layer to layer, and it'll start flaking off. So definitely don't wait 30 minutes. Like I said, this is 5 minutes, so give her a shake. And then we'll go on to coat number 2. Same thing, very light. Get it at all the angles, top, bottom, side to side. just don't drench it. You don't want to get any drips or drops because once that happens, there's no fixing it. So just like that. You can see I went just a little heavier straight down because I found last time I did this as well, it didn't want to sit in the little indent there as well. So go straight. You might get a little extra around here, but that's fine because once you peel it off, that's all gone anyways. All sides, all angles. And that's all you want every time. Thin, thin, thin coats. Okay, fourth coat. This will be the last of the light coats, then we'll go slightly heavier on the last few. Same thing as before, make sure you get all angles so you don't miss any spots that you might not see. Especially if you're doing it like me in the garage, the lighting is not the best in here. Just got a couple of fluorescents on the roof. But it is what it is, we make it work. All right, round 5, a little heavier this time. And by heavier, I don't mean hose her down like a fire hose. Just do it the same way you've been doing it. Just put a couple more light layers on each time. If you hit it like a fire hose, you're just gonna get drips and drops and uneven spots and you're gonna hate the results. So like the other few, take your time, just give her a little more, go from all the different angles and get the best coverage as you can on these layers. You can see top and bottom, side to side. That way you know you're covering the whole thing. You're getting on all sides of the letters. Everywhere you might see and not see will get totally covered. So this, because it's a little heavier, give it an extra couple minutes to dry. We'll do 2, maybe 3 more. We'll see how it looks, and then that'll be that. All right, coat number 6. What you're looking for is, or what I look for anyway, is you can see how it kind of gets like a matte finish to it. That's what it'll look like when it's completely dry. But as soon as you get that look, you're okay to spray your next layer. You can see down here is still a little bit wetter. If it looks like that, give it a couple more minutes. But as you can see on the letters, you're all dried up, or mostly dry, so you're ready for your next coat. So we'll throw on number 6 and let her continue to dry. And as always, both sides, keep it far away. Get one extra spray on the top. I like to go down, give her a hit from underneath as well. And then, like I said, you can see now how in the light it all kind of looks like it's shiny. Once it dries enough, it'll get the little bit of a matte look to it. And then you're good to go on to the next layer. Coat number 7, same thing, top, bottom, sides. Just don't go too crazy. As you can see up close, you do get like little tiny droplets, it looks like. Thicker than a spray paint can for sure, but this is like a liquid rubber, so that's just expected. And last but not least, guys, final coat, number 8. Get her on there. Same as every other time, 6 inches away or so. Give her a good final shot. All different angles, same as the other shots. You don't want it to drip or anything like that. So if it looks like you're getting too thick, just stop. But that'll be all we need. We'll let this dry for another 5 minutes or so. We're not gonna peel around the letters quite yet, but that is the time you wanna take off your tape and the plastic and everything protecting the rest of the car. Okay, so once you get to this point, it's not dry enough to start peeling yet, but you want to try to get the plastic off just so later on when it is ready to peel, you're not trying to get the plastic off and deal with it peeling off. You might end up wrecking it. So what I do is at this point, you can see it is started to go a little matte again, so it's dry, maybe not to the touch, but you want to take your tape and pull. You can see, that's how you know you got her thick enough. You can see how thick it is around the tape, but pull away from your lettering just so you can get this stuff off. You don't have to be careful with it. Just, you can see I got a couple layers on some spots even. Just peel that off, stick it to the garbage because that's all gonna go in the garbage later anyways. And same thing with the bottom. You don't have to be super, super careful, but like I said, you wanna leave that border around. Then you can get rid of all this. I use painter's tape because it doesn't leave any residue or anything on your car. Take all that away, throw her in the garbage. And now this, and here you can see what I meant by this has the lines. This is 2018 up. If you're 17 or lower, they don't have the lines. I'm not personally a big fan, but you can see I left about a finger width in between there just so you're not trying to peel Plasti Dip out of there as well. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this part for about an hour or so, let it really harden up, let it set onto the letters properly. And as long as you do that, you can just come, because you can see like this is already starting to come up here. We could almost peel it already, but just let it dry, be patient. Like I said, an hour or so, and then you can just peel this off. You'll see in a few seconds here, and away you go. All right, so here we are. It's about an hour later. You can see it's all one solid color now. That's how you know it's dry. It might still be a little tacky underneath possibly, so don't go pushing all over the place. But all you need to do for doing this now is just like a Band-Aid. Get it started. Just push it with your finger. It'll start to roll. Let me get on the right side. And then slowly just peel it. And you can see there, when it gets to the letters, she just peels off and you're left with the perfect black around your emblem. Don't worry if you get little pieces left on like that, you can get them later. Also, if you have some overspray or something, you can use that stuff I showed you at the beginning of the video, or just take your finger and it rubs right off like that. But as for this, like I said, nice and slow, and you can see every time you get to the corner, it'll just peel itself off. And for this part, if it happens to break, we'll see if she'll cooperate or not. Seems to be working all right. Oh, there you go. It broke there. So if you can't get your finger in there, that's why I got a toothpick here still. You would just come in here and you can see when you push on it, the toothpick will start to pick it up. And then you can just very gently, of course, work it out of there. You can see, just push and it'll start to peel away. If you got a thinner part here where you can't get it off, just roll your finger over it. Not your nail, just your finger, and it peels off. And there you have it, guys. Good as new. So easy peasy. You can do it in your garage. I opened up the door just so you guys get a little bit of light and air it out in here. But another, give it an hour or so. An hour to dry once you're done. So altogether, if you want to do it properly, and you can go around the car, do all four at the same time. You get her done in a couple hours, easy peasy, and you get some good results. Just as if you were to peel that off and put an actual black one on, but way cheaper, and if you don't like it, you can pick it off and go back to chrome. So hopefully this helped you out. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I hope to catch you in the next one.